All right, guys, today is the day we're finally starting the tuning on the Hellephant. I'm actually working on it as we speak. So I had to back up the car just a little bit so I could get a better signal from Wi-Fi because I'm connected to my house. And I got my laptop set up. I got the HP tuners cable plugged in. Everything is ready to go. We're actually emailing the tuner back and forth as we're speaking. So while he's getting his answer back to me, we're kind of just gonna go over a few things. What have we changed? And a lot of people that don't know what this is, I'll kind of give you guys a quick explanation. So this started off, if you watch my older videos, it was a red eye swap, Chrysler 300, and I came across a Hellephant motor in which we swapped over now. This is what this is. It's a 7-liter 426 with a 3-liter supercharger. These things are super hard to find, and if you find them, a lot of people don't want to sell them because they're holding their value. But I decided to put in my 300, and that's just me. So for the badges, a lot of people have been asking me if the badges are going to get changed, and yes, they are. I'm actually working with a company right now, and they're kind of custom making like a Hellephant sign. I also told them to add like the red instead of the inside of the eye of the Hellephant, which would kind of give it a nice effect. I got some new badges coming for the calipers. Instead of them saying SRT, we're actually changing it to say 426, Mopar at the bottom of it, and Hellephant at the end. They look really nice. I've seen it. I've seen the decals on Google, and I think they look pretty cool if we put them on the calipers. And also, we're doing the same thing for the trunk and the grill. Instead of it saying SRT, we're changing it to say 426 with the Hellephant at the end of it. It's gonna look really nice. I gotta wait for them to come in. We're actually talking back and forth with the company that's making them. I found them on Instagram, and they are sending me renders of it before they do the final product. And we're gonna do the same thing for the grill, 426 with the Hellephant at the end of it. If I have a picture of it, I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. That way you have an idea. But other than that, once we get the tuning all set up, I can't really get on the car as hard because the trans fluid isn't as full. I think it lost about a quart and a half when we're doing the whole swap procedure. So I don't want to get on the throttle until we make sure the trans fluid is topped off, which we'll do once I'm able to drive the car, take it to the shop, leave it at operating temp because you have to get the car hot enough, check the fluid, and then from there we can actually do some runs with it. All right, now the tuner is asking me the same question a lot of people have been commenting about on the last video, and that's regards to the PCM, why I didn't use the PCM that came with the crate and why I used my original one. And that's because the PCM that comes with it is literally blank. Like when I plugged it in, the dash, the ignition wouldn't even turn on, the security light was flashing, and then I tried to scan it to get like a file off of it so I can send it to the tuner so he could look it over, and it wouldn't even do anything. It was just blank, I guess. But the reason for that, I think it didn't work, is because I didn't use the controller. So you got your, your PCM, which controls your engine and all that, and then you got your controller, which controls the body side of the car, and they're supposed to like kind of meet together to make it work. I didn't use that because the controller comes with it is just like a base controller. It doesn't have any of the options like the chiller. It doesn't have like the race cooldown mode, all the nice options that the SRT is supposed to have. It's just like a generic controller just to start the car. So I wanted to, keep all of my original stuff. So I kept my factory BCM, which is located on the passenger side kick panel. And I used my factory PCM. So of course they'll link together so the car can start. And which it does, as you can see, it runs. I was able to drive it. It was kind of hard because the throttle isn't learned. All it needs is a little bit of tweaking, and I think we should be all right. But if worst case scenario, if needed, then we're gonna have to replace the controller and then replace the PCM that came with the crate, and then I think that's the only way it's gonna work. But I just replied back to his email. I'm waiting for him to get back with me and let's see what we're gonna do. What he's asking for is the file off the controller from the Hellephant. That way he could kind of sync them together with my PCM on my red eye and make it work just without installing the Hellephant crate or the Hellephant PCM. So I don't know, we'll see how it works. I'm waiting for him to get back with me, and then I'll let you guys know what he says. I really wish that Mopar did like a better job with kind of labeling the supercharger instead of this plain old just Mopar sign. They could have had something with like a Hellephant 426 7-liter or something. That's just so basic, and I want to like make my own and cover it up, but then it defeats the whole purpose of a Hellephant, because that's how a Hellephant is a Hellephant, just by looking at that. But yeah, that's what I think. I think they should have did a lot better with labeling it so it kind of pops out. But we're still waiting on a tuner to get back, see what he says, and get this thing tuned up. And this was a cover I was talking about that I had to get to cover up my ABS module, my lines. It kind of slides in there like that. And then these two holes over here, I gotta pop off this harness. Oops. I gotta pop off this harness that has two clips going inside the fuse box. And instead of going inside the fuse box, they'll clip on here, kind of hold it down. I've also noticed the throttle body, or the snout, what you call it, has a spacer on it right over there. The Red Eyes and Hellcats don't got that. At least I don't think they do. But I'm also keeping my factory intake box. This thing sounds amazing with the supercharger line. A lot of people have been recommending if I go with like a leg maker or JLT and just any aftermarket, but the original Mopar one sounds great. So I'm gonna stick to that for now. And then I'm also, for the hood, on the Demons, it says air grabber with like the Demon badge somewhere in the middle of it. And I have my buddy at Flagship making me a custom one that says Hellephant. And then halfway through it, we'll have like the Hellephant badge. So it'll look pretty cool when you pop open the hood. Just the small stuff that make it stand out is what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to really overdo it. Just the small details, and then leave it the way it's at. Okay, so update. We are kind of stuck now because he needs the file off the Hellephant PCM, just so he can match everything to the Red Eye one. So I got my buddy on the way. He's gonna go grab the PCM from the shop. I'm going to install the PCM in his car because it's a lot easier to get to. It's kind of open instead of being blocked in like a 300 is. We're gonna install the PCM. As long as the ignition turns on, I think I should be able to read a file off of it. I won't find out until I try it. So once he's on the way, or once he gets here, I'll plug in my laptop and the HP tuners, try to collect the file off of it, email it back to the tuner and have him do his thing. And then he could send me a file to upload to this one, and we'll see how that works. The last time I tried it, I couldn't get a communication with the PCM for some reason, but maybe I was doing something wrong. We'll try it again, and hopefully this time it works. Damn. So this is the same size as the Brembo, right?
Yeah, the way I measured it, from here to here, it's like
That's sick.
4.2 inches.
Is there any way we can make that eye red?
It's gonna be a little too hard for that.
Really?
It's gonna look red on the caliper though.
Yeah. Dope.
We could check the sizes and stuff if you want.
Let me see that PCM. Alright, so this is the Hellephant PCM. We're gonna swap it with his because, as you can see, his is a lot easier to get to. I'm gonna put this one on, connect it, and I got my my laptop with the HP tuners to scan it. But that's the part number for that. There you go.
I already took that off.
Oh. So that's the old one, or that's his original one. And now we're gonna put the Hellephant one in. That one should be easier because it doesn't have a bracket. So the security light flashes because for theft mode it's not gonna start. So now we're just gonna scan it. We'll do read. It says no VIN detected, enter a VIN or continue with that one. I think we can continue with that one. Hell yeah. It works. I don't have to read the trans, so do not read. Why does it say skip though? Should I put a VIN in?
No. Put yours in?
I don't think it matters. What's your VIN?
Full or all?
I think the whole thing.
2C.
So that's it. I guess I had to just put a VIN number in just so it can read. So it's gonna take 10 minutes. I'll read the whole system and then we'll turn the ignition off. I'm not gonna read the transmission because I didn't really care for it. We're using the other car. And then we'll send this file to the tuner so he can play around with it. So that's it. It worked out pretty good. I sent the file over to the tuner. Now we're gonna take off the PCM and go back to the Hellephant and see what's going on with that. Okay, so loading up the first tune file that he sent me. Now we're just doing the transmission, and then we'll see if it starts up and stays running this time. He said there's a lot of things that are different from the two files, so he's gonna have to adjust them, and then maybe it will be a lot better by the time he's done. So that's that. Takes about a minute to load, and then we'll try to start it up. All right guys, so I got the new file uploaded to the car. Now we're gonna start it and make sure it doesn't cut off like how it used to install, which it shouldn't, because I already tried it out for a couple seconds and it worked pretty good. So let's go ahead and turn it back on. As you can see, no lights on the dash. A lot, boys. Sounds amazing. So now what I'm gonna do is do a data log for him. He's gonna send me his parameters, whatever they call them, and then I'm gonna send them back, and then after that we'll take her for a quick run and see how she does. So I think she's ready for a first test drive. Everything seems okay, but we got to make sure when we drive it. Woo-wee! So I'm gonna back it up. I'm gonna keep the laptop over here. I'm gonna keep it on charge because I'm pretty sure we're gonna need it. And then I'll take it around the block. Like I said, I can't drive it too much. I want to be safe on the trans fluid. We lost about a quart, maybe a quart and a half. So I'm not going to get on the throttle too much. I just want to take it for a spin and just see how it drives, really. So let's do that. I'm going to come back. So the check engine light came on. I'm pretty sure it's nothing too major. Something to do with the tune. But the throttle response on this thing is unreal. Damn. And the exhaust is just crazy. This thing is stupid. But I feel a huge difference. I don't know if it was tune related or just a setup on this thing, but that line is ridiculous. All right, so back in the garage. It runs really good, actually. There's not really too much that needs to be adjusted, but the check engine light came back on. I did a data log. I sent it back to him, and I guess the fuel pressure is running a little bit higher than usual. So he's playing around with that somehow, and then he's gonna send it back to me, and I'll upload it to the car and take it for another spin. And then hopefully we could get the trans fluid topped off tonight or today, at least later on, so I could get a good drive with it, and I can actually get on the throttle and test out, you know, the shift points and stuff. So once he gets the tuned 100%, I'll get back on here. We'll take it for another spin, and then we'll go from there. All right, now we got the new file that he worked on. We're uploading it now. It takes about 50 seconds, I believe. And then he wants me to do a drive around with a data log. So I'm gonna have the laptop sitting right over here. And then we'll go for a cruise for about, I'll say 10 minutes. and then stop recording, send it back to him, and then see if everything's all right. So I guess the only problem is right now, fuel pressure is supposed to be around 58 psi. It's rating at 75 psi, but that's I think it's because before I had a booster pump, which will boost the pressure up from the fuel pump modules, but I got rid of it, so it should read back to stock. So that's his only complaint right now, and he said to just load up this file, drive it around, and then he'll figure it out. So that's what we're doing now. As you can see, all these lights are going crazy because it's putting it in a new stock or a new tune file. And then once that's done, we'll go on a spin and see how it does. The check engine light went away after the new file, so I think he fixed one of the issues. But it's driving pretty good. It's shifting pretty fine. I didn't get past probably 30 gear, but once I get it open away, I'll get on the gas and make sure it gets through all the gears. All right, so far so good. The car drives really good. The shift points are okay. I couldn't really get on the pedal, like I said, because the fluid is probably short and I don't want to cause any damage. So that's going to be it for today's video. I'm probably going to continue it tomorrow, depending on how long the video is right now. But we're going to go to the shop, put on the hoist. We are going to replace those tires. I got some new set of tires for that. I forgot to tell you. We are changing the badges on the calipers, and we're topping the fluid off and also charging the AC. And then after that, we can actually get on the road and do testing and make sure everything's 100%. But as of now, like I said, it's running really nice. I like how it idles. Check engine light went away. So just the basics, and she's ready to go.